Well, I guess just turning our lens to something more recent, that's the Priscilla Atkins fiasco. So NAAJA's issued their apology. They've accepted the federal court's findings. Status quo returns. Where to from here?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? I mean, look, they've gone into their cone of silence here now, right? We're asking them questions. Well, guys, this is when you need to come out and actually explain to the community what's going on.
Yeah.
And explain how you're going to start fixing things, and they're hiding out now. They're just not responding to media requests for comment. And I guess Priscilla's back. She's the...
I think she's CEO again.
Okay. I mean,
with that board.
Yeah. With the same board. Yeah. So I don't know how that's even tenable now. I mean, I know that's one of the things in the wrongful dismissal case. You want your job back as one of the demands, but sometimes maybe it's not practical that happens. And of course, we'd seen these problems under her leadership anyway. It's set to happen before that. So maybe it's time she takes a step back for the betterment of everybody in the territory at this point, and we get some fresh people in there. But you know, I don't know where we find them, and I think ultimately, first of all, they need to come out and explain what the hell's going on and what's going to happen. How do they address all of these governance failures that happen, all of these accusations of money gone missing? I mean, this is some serious stuff that's gone on there that isn't just fixed because Priscilla Atkins comes back.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see some leadership there and some people come out and explain what's going to happen now.
Well, she's been there since 2007, from what I understand. So surely she accepts some culpability for the state of affairs, no?
No, she won't. I don't think. I think she's...
We haven't got her to.
I doubt it. I mean, that illustrates what I was saying earlier about the fact that they can think they can get away with going back to the status quo. I mean, that is Twilight Zone stuff. We're in Twilight Zone with NAAJA. That's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy per se, but the fact that they're actually responsible for the suffering that's been going on and will continue like this is absolutely disgraceful. These people have no shame at all to be able to behave like this. And I should move my gun over and attack the media as well, because as usual, the media, this doesn't include NT.
It's all right, Johnny, I'm used to it.
The media are typically let us down, whereby instead of interrogating this Twilight Zone and demanding that they explain themselves and asking questions as obvious as how on earth could you possibly return to the status quo, bearing in mind what you've just went through. And by the way, how much money has this case cost the taxpayer? All of these kind of questions should be demanded by the media, but the media doesn't do its job anymore. The media is supposed to interrogate powerful institutions, governments of any colour, and inform the community as to the facts, and they don't do either anymore. The ABC just basically republishes the media release, and then they didn't go back to the NAAJA story. That was it.
Yeah.
Status quo.
And then, but for that, I'd say that the NT Independent does do that. We do interrogate, we do push them. We don't have the resources of the ABC to be on someone like Priscilla Atkins all the time. I wish I could run into her and then put a microphone in her face and say, "What are you doing?" I'd love to do that. But yeah, I take John's point, and that's kind of why we started the NT Independent, and why we're doing things the way we're doing it, is that this stuff is so crucially important to the functioning of our society here in the Northern Territory, that establishments, organizations like this function correctly. As soon as you're getting that taxpayer money, as soon as you're getting the public funds, you need to have a certain level of accountability there. When that's not there, then things need to happen and people need to take action. Leaders have to start taking action. We still haven't seen that here. But yeah, I agree with you a lot that the media, I've seen this so much now, just where John's right, they take a press release and that's it. And that's the end of it. And it's, well, let's just get it done.
So is it,
just can't do that.
Why would the media not take an active interest in this? Is it apathy amongst the audience? Is there no interest?
No, I can tell you the readership's there.
Okay.
When we cover this stuff, people are very much interested. Even your story the other day about.
So then there's ulterior motives as to why.
I think it's just a general dumbing down incompetence level that we're at. Like John says, in the legal fraternity, so too in the journalism community. Right. We've got a lot of young journalists here who don't probably have that knowledge that they need to interrogate organizations like that. And then there is the issue that you always come into with, they're an Aboriginal organization. We shouldn't be holding them to this high standard and demanding this, and then I mean that's just problematic on its own. And when
Well,
that stuff
isn't that called the bigotry of low expectations? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think the ABC that explains the ABC to me. And I've been working with ABC for 30 years, and I've seen it deteriorate like everything else has. I mean, in days gone by, they would be interrogating this, notwithstanding the politics of it, which is sort of anti-Aboriginal, if you like, and anti-left wing, which the ABC is sort of labelled with. But I think that's what they're doing now. They just think we can't attack an Aboriginal organisation. 30% of our population is Aboriginal. It'll look bad for us, which is just the opposite of what the media should be doing, especially a national broadcaster. Because once again, we're paying for that. Yeah. So we're being failed on all accounts. I mean, I say that, the media is more important, dare I say it, than NAAJA. And if you haven't got a media working in your society, you haven't got a free society. You haven't got democracy. And that is massive at the moment.